The Dr. Marion J. Brooks Living Legend Award is presented to area citizens who have dedicated their lives to community service. Award categories include business, education, law and politics, medicine, music, sports, and communication. Past recipients of this award include Dion Bagsby, Bob Ray Sanders, and Coach Robert Hughes. Serving as teacher, principal, and counselor,
I like to work with children at large.
Mr. Kervin Carter has enjoyed a career that spanned 51 years in the Fort Worth ISD.
I was in the classroom 8 years, and then I became a full-time counselor.
Okay.
I was the first full-time counselor out at Dunbar.
He has taught at all levels of school, including elementary, middle, and high school.
I tell you what, I loved every minute of it. I've been asked the question whether or not I enjoyed, which area I enjoyed working in the most, and I enjoyed all of my career.
He graduated from Wiley College in 1942. Mr. Carter was there when integration became the way in Fort Worth Public Schools.
I worked in the system during the period of integration, and that was an interesting and challenging time.
A member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated and a Mason, Mr. Carter has received numerous awards from both organizations, as well as his church where he serves as deacon. Mr. Carter has been married for 49 years to the love of his life. For his longtime service in the Fort Worth ISD and the positive impact he's had on hundreds of students, Mr. Kervin Carter is the 2012 Dr. Marion J. Brooks Living Legends Education Award recipient.
Honored to be considered for the award, and I hope that my efforts do merit the consideration.
Miss Willie B. Jones spent 43 years teaching.
43 blissful years.
A native of Fort Worth, Texas, Miss Jones came to Fort Worth to teach after 1 year in the Greenville ISD. During her long career, Miss Jones saw many changes in the education system, including integration.
After I settled in, it was good. It was good. I enjoyed working with, different races because I love kids.
Though she excelled at teaching, Miss Jones didn't feel it was her calling.
I wanted to be a nurse because I wanted to wear white. But then that wouldn't have worked because they soon stopped wearing white, I just thought that was so neat, so clean. And I wanted to serve. I wanted to help somebody.
Once her mom suggested teaching as a way to help others, her path and direction was changed forever. In 1978, Miss Jones went to work at Dunbar High School.
When I first went to Dunbar, I was elated, and the reason was because I had asked to go there.
Not only did she teach at Dunbar, but she also served as cheerleader advisor and sometimes as the senior class sponsor. Miss Jones sacrificed her time to make sure her students were adequately prepared by having tutoring sessions on Sundays in her home. Students knew they would get the extra help they needed from Miss Jones.
That I loved teaching. I loved kids. I loved helping. That's why I would if anybody would come, I'd have tutorials in my house on Sunday after church.
She felt the key to reaching students and helping them learn was to show genuine concern for them.
Oh, that's it. That may be the very key, that you care. Kids need to feel that we care.
She had a special saying for her students.
And that was my word, who loves you, babe?
Miss Jones urged her students to give back to their local community. Every Christmas holiday, students gathered food for needy families. She was a teacher, a friend, someone who cared for her students in and out of the classroom. Helping some write graduation speeches, she pushed them to be the best that they could be. For that, she is a living legend. Miss Willie B. Jones, the 2012 Dr. Marion J. Brooks Living Legend Education Award recipient.
I was overjoyed and very grateful that somebody wanted to extend a recognition for the little bit that I've done.
Born in New Orleans but raised in Mississippi, Judge Wayne Salvant grew up with a group of family and friends that helped him positively mature into the man he is today.
We had a pretty close-knit family. That helps a youngster grow. My life was really a Tom Sawyer type life, living on the Mississippi coast next to the Gulf of Mexico, where we could go out and swim anytime we wanted to swim. We could have beach parties. We had a lot of friends around. We had a lot of family around. And that develops you.
A Vietnam veteran, his need to know his rights led him to study law at Southern University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He started his career as a lawyer and later became a judge. A job with the Securities and Exchange Commission brought him to Fort Worth.
I could work either in Fort Worth or Washington, D.C. So I talked it over with my wife, and we decided that Fort Worth would be a nice place to come and live and raise a family. So I chose Fort Worth over Washington, D.C. And I've never regretted it.
Judge Salvant feels that citizens need to be educated about the law because it affects their everyday lives.
We use law in everything. If you go out and rent an apartment, you need to know the law because you have a lease that you have to sign. You need to know what's that all about. If you go out and buy a car, you need to know the law because you're going to sign various contracts. If you're arrested, you need to know what your rights are. So I think we all should know the law.
As a judge, his job is to guarantee those being accused of crimes are given fair treatment by the criminal justice system.
I'm here to make sure that that person gets a reasonable bond and not an excessive bond where he can't get out of jail. Okay? That's one positive way. I'm also here to make sure that he gets a fair trial, that he has the proper representation even if he can't afford to hire somebody.
Judge Salvant is helping a new generation get interested in law.
And believe it or not, after I'm through with my conversation with these kids, a number of them decide that, hey, you know what? I think I want to go to law school. I think I want to be a lawyer.
To young people, seeing an African-American judge on the bench also encourages them positively.
When they see somebody like me sitting behind the bench, that gives them the real desire to say, hey, if he can do that, then I can do that.
For his long-time service in law to the Fort Worth community, Judge Wayne Salvant is the 2012 Dr. Marion J. Brooks Living Legends Law and Politics Award recipient.
I feel like anybody would. I mean, you feel humble. That's the first thing, you know. You feel good about it because somebody thinks that you're doing something good, and you feel honored that somebody would think about that.
Surrounded in his office by books of biblical significance, Reverend Albert E. Chu is a longtime Fort Worth pastor.
Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church called me as pastor in 1958.
He is a humble man who feels called to serve and pastor by God.
We were called by God to proclaim of His word, and I must do what I must do, not for pay, but for God.
He holds numerous degrees, graduating from Bishop College, Prairie View University, and Bright Seminary. Reverend Chu has had a long career spanning 62 years.
Pause like I'm doing right now, and thank God for the privilege. For 50 years is an awesome length of time to do anything.
He has preached all over the United States. He is a member of the National Baptist Convention of America, the Baptist Ministers Union of Fort Worth, and a founding member of Bella.
Bella is Black Ecumenical Leadership Alliance, founded at the turn of the century. I guess the right word would be I founded Bella because I felt that there was a need for an organization of black ministers to make Fort Worth an additional better place to live. And so we founded Bella, and it has done great things. I suspect if there's anything that I'm proud of that I've been a part of, it is the Black Ecumenical Leadership Alliance, because it crosses all boundaries religiously. It's not a Baptist organization, nor a Methodist, nor Presbyterian. It crosses all organizations.
He has helped form 7 churches in the Fort Worth area, but most important of all,
and above all, I'm a part of the Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church at 2823 North Houston. That's who I am. The rest of it, I am about Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church. Have to be, you can understand that after 53 years. That's it. In common language, that's where the rubber hits the road.
And because of all of that, he is a legend among pastors.
I'm honored to be called a legend in my own time, for most people don't get a chance at being nothing in his own time. Thank you for that accolade.
Reverend Albert E. Chu, the 2012 Dr. Marion J. Brooks Living Legend Religion Award recipient. Since 1976, Dr. Clarence J. Brooks has served the South Side community of Fort Worth, a neighborhood he feels needed him most.
I didn't feel an obligation to come back. I wanted to come back. At home, I knew that there was a need. The disparity between the numbers of black physicians versus the black population, the disparity was just tremendous. There were just problems with access to health care.
Jackie, as he is affectionately nicknamed by his family and friends, decided to follow in the footsteps of his role model.
I had a role model. And I had a role model for my career, and I had a role model for my life. And that role model happened to be the same person. And that role model was my dad. Everything I ever needed to know in life, I learned from my dad.
Dr. Brooks is an I.M. Terrell graduate. He started his college career at Howard University in Washington, D.C., and also finished his college career at the real HU. Upon returning to Fort Worth after graduation, he joined his father and uncle in their medical practice. He credits his wife Sonia with turning around the family business.
Time she has brought this practice from a mom and pop shop to a very functional, very efficient, and very profitable enterprise.
One thing that Dr. Brooks says he has learned from his patients is how to deal with life's catastrophes.
I have learned how to deal with catastrophe from my patients, and I have learned how not to deal with catastrophe from my patients.
Though he doesn't feel he is a living legend, winning this award named after his father is deeply meaningful to Dr. Brooks.
I'm honored to receive the award. I am a little humbled by it because I know who my dad was, and for me, he was a living legend. I'm honored to receive the award, but it's humbling at the same time.
His message to the people is a simple one of thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for the lessons that they have taught me. Thank you for sharing their perspectives with me. Thank you for letting me be a part of their lives. Just thank you.
He is the father to 2 daughters, the grandfather to 2 young boys, the husband of Sonia, and a local hometown boy who became a doctor who tried.
That boy tried. And that's what I would like my legacy to be, that I tried.
Dr. Clarence J. Brooks is the 2012 Dr. Marion J. Brooks Living Legend Medicine Award recipient.